Hello there, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful soul. It's so amazing to have you back and watching this video. Thank you so much for joining me. It's Zanele Njapa, the Unlearning Lady. And thank you very much for watching this video. If you haven't yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, if this is where you're watching this, please make sure that you do so by going over to the little button that says subscribe or clicking the notification button so that you don't miss any of the videos that come up on my channel. Thank you once again for taking the time to watch this video. I really, really do appreciate you taking a slice out of your life to be with me and to have this conversation. So today we're having a beautiful, super timely conversation about having people around you to hold space for you, which is so, so, so important and can't be overstated. And so that's why I thought today was such a good day to have that conversation with you, for us to talk about it, for you to let me know what the idea of holding space means for you. So I want to start it off with this idea. You've probably heard the story of a woman who was once walking in a beautiful natural area with trees, and she saw a butterfly that was still in its cocoon. So this butterfly was basically transitioning from being a caterpillar to being a butterfly, and it was in its cocoon, but it was still at that stage where it was starting to come out. So you could basically see a bit of a wing coming out of the cocoon that the caterpillar had now transformed, but it was now at the stage where it needed to break out of the cocoon. Very exciting times as a caterpillar, because you're about to be a fully formed butterfly out in the world, testing out your wings. And then this woman walked up to the cocoon and saw this. And she went, wow, the beautiful, beautiful miracle of the life cycle of a butterfly. And then she tried to open, well, she didn't try. She literally was like, oh my goodness, look at that caterpillar. It's struggling to come out of the cocoon. Let me help. Let me be a beautiful citizen, helpful, a good Samaritan, and help the caterpillar come out, or the butterfly to come out. And so she literally slit a little opening in the cocoon so that the butterfly could come out. And she thought, oh, wonderful. I've now helped the butterfly to come out of the cocoon, which it was struggling to come out of. And then unfortunately what happened is that the butterfly did come out, but it landed on the ground and it couldn't fly. And then, as you can possibly imagine, the butterfly did eventually die. What's the big point of this story? Now, butterflies, whether you know it or not, are actually supposed to come out of their cocoons themselves, because this is how they strengthen their wings and develop their wings so that when they come out, they can fly and they can be beautiful butterflies that contribute to the ecosystem of their world. If they don't go through that temporary struggle of coming out of that cocoon, those butterflies don't have a chance of making it. And when that woman or that man, depending on how you've heard the story, opened up that cocoon for that butterfly, thinking she or he was supporting the butterfly and helping it on its journey, making things easier, was actually destroying and killing the butterfly. So let's talk today about the importance of holding space and what that really, really means. Let's go. Got some unlearning to do? Hi there, I'm Zanele Njapa, known to my clients as the Unlearning Lady, a past primary school teacher and now the world's leading voice on using key unlearning principles to self-disrupt, get unstuck, and transition successfully. Okay, holding space. That story about the butterfly, the caterpillar / butterfly, is always such a deep story, because you feel the pain of both the butterfly, who has now lost her chance at showing up as her best because someone who thought they were holding space for her did something that sabotaged her journey. And this is where the big lesson is around holding space. So let's go back to using this story to define what it means to hold space for someone. Holding space means, in my idea or in my interpretation and how I understand the term, is to create a kind of capsule or to create an environment where a person can grow and expand. And the key words here are grow and expand, not necessarily where a person can sail through and avoid their challenges, because it's through those beautiful challenges that the person does grow, does expand, does strengthen their wings so that they can use them when it's time to fly. Take a second to just think about all of the different times in your life where you have gone through some really tough things, some really tough challenges that have tested you and really pushed you to grow and show up as a better version of yourself. And I'm thinking now, because I think you might have noticed that I'm a little bit weird during this video, because I just heard of the passing of just such an inspiring musician in my home country. And it just really threw me off. And as I think about it, and as we have this conversation now, I'm just thinking about how even the toughest, most challenging things that we go through in our lives can be so tough, can be so catastrophic. But unless we go through those things, then we don't expand and we don't grow. And I love to entertain myself with the thought that the purpose of life is for us to show up, is for us to use those moments of deep trial and deep suffering to expand and to hold space. There's that beautiful term, hold space for others. Because when I go through a certain emotion, a certain circumstance, a certain experience, then it means that when you are going through it, I can open up this container, this vault, this environment where you can safely feel an environment of psychological safety where you can go through it as well. I'm not going to open up your cocoon for you and cuddle you and make you feel and take all of that away from you. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to be here as someone who has gone through that. And I'm going to support you. And I am going to tell you that you're going to be okay. But I'm not going to make it easier for you. Hence my job as a coach, as a mentor, as a consultant, as a speaker, as a whatever it is that I do as an author, is not to make it easier for you. And if I've ever given you the impression that that's what I want to do, then I lied. I'm not going to take away the challenge that you're going through, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold space. And holding space means I'm going to create an environment where you feel like it's safe to grow, where I'm going to keep whispering that it's okay, that you're going to be fine, go through it and make the most of it. And that really for me is what holding space is. Holding space is creating an environment where a person feels the safety to do that. Because growing and expanding is not a joke. If you've ever gone through an experience where you've been crushed through an expectation that you held, maybe you put yourself out there and you didn't succeed, or you didn't get the result you wanted, you were shut out of something, you didn't achieve a goal you had, you lost a parent, you lost a grandparent before you could give them back all of the beautiful things that you think they gave you, or you can show them that you made something of yourself. Those experiences are tough. They're tough. And when we go through those experiences, as tough and as hard as they can be, they are intended very much like a crucible and gold. They are intended to mold us into more expanded, aware, wise versions of ourselves. So never let an experience escape you without you drawing out that version. It's like when you go through, when you play a video game, how you fight a certain monster, or you fight a certain individual or character at that level, and then you go into the next level. And because now you've had the experience of fighting that horrible monster at this level, you can now advance to a different level, to a more expanded level of the game, and you're now ready for more. That's really what this is supposed to be. When we go through these things, they're intended for us to go through them and then get better, and then step up, and then step up. Not step up in the sense that you are now someone who doesn't feel pain, or you are now someone who's immune to suffering or immune to being challenged. Not at all. But you have an almost expanded, more extensive, more immersive level of understanding what it means to be challenged, what it means to be trialed, so you can hold space for other people. So let's talk about a little bit about what it means to hold space. So if you are holding space for someone, really you are creating that container of safety for them to unravel, for them to grow, for them to expand. Basically, based on an understanding of what it means to do that. So if you're holding space for someone, let's say, for example, a friend is going through something that's really tough and they're really going through the most, in a particular circumstance, or a family member or a colleague or anything of the such. There is a situation where someone really needs to feel supported. Someone is stepping up because they're going through the crucible or an experience that is, it's like they're going through fire, but they have the potential of coming out better on the other side. When you hold space for that person, really what you're doing is you're telling that person that they're going to be okay. It means that you are creating an environment where that person can unravel. Because when we go through tough circumstances or tough experiences, we unravel. We have parts of us that come through that we sometimes want to hide from the world. We have things about us that are potentially things we've had shame around for a very long time that make us feel very vulnerable. And when you hold space, you almost, and I've got this beautiful image in my head, you almost wrap your arms around the person. Oh, I'm getting emotional. You almost wrap your arms around the individual to say, you're going to be okay. Let it all out. Allow yourself to completely unravel and be who you are, because I am here to create an environment around you where you can go from caterpillar and do all of the, because the experience of becoming a caterpillar is not glamorous. It's tough. If you look inside a cocoon, it is tough in there. The caterpillar is, not looking so cute and not, not all glamorous. She doesn't have her heels on. It's rough in there. But because the cocoon is able to hold space for the caterpillar to unravel, to not be so cute, to have snot all over herself and sleep in her eyes and beating things up, the caterpillar comes out better on the other side as a butterfly who has been tested in the fire so that she can come out that way. And that's the importance of this journey. And that's why, as we unlearn and as we transition, holding space is one of the best things we can do for other people. But then we can also make sure that we've got people to hold space for us. And this is why I love creating environments where transitioners and unlearners can come together and unravel together, and we can all hold space, so that if someone in the room goes, oh my goodness, I just have this situation that's going on right now, I just had a conversation with my leader, or I've just had a conversation with a colleague, or my mother's not feeling so well and at work they've asked for this and this is going on. The rest of us don't have to necessarily say, hey, do this, do this, do that, but just being there as people who are also transitioning and unlearning allows the other person to feel that someone is holding space for them, and they have that permission to be themselves and to unravel in that moment. And that's why I think that it's such a beautiful thing to hold space for other people. I want to close off this video with giving you a beautiful quote that I once heard. This is me sort of just going on and on and on, but I thought that this was a really important thing to share because it's so close to my heart. It's such a beautiful, it's from the Talmud. And this quote goes, every single blade of grass has a beautiful angel that stands next to it and whispers, grow, grow. And when I saw that, for me, it was so, so beautiful, because when we have people who hold space, that's all they do. They are not grabbing us, the blade of grass, and trying to pull us out the ground. That's not what they do. But when people hold space for us, they're standing next to us and they're saying, grow, grow, expand, immerse yourself. Really, really just expand. I think expand, transform, transition, unlearn. That's what you want to be for other people. And you also want to find other people that are going to do that for you. And if you've ever watched any of my content and you've thought, oh, Zanele, I think you could be someone amazing to hold space for me, then reach out. Let's see how we can do that. Maybe you can join my community. I've got very limited space in the communities that I create, because I love that intimacy of knowing everyone's name and seeing everyone's face and just making sure you feel that beautiful container. But reach out to me. Let's see how we can do that. Let's see how you can be a part of a community that holds space for each other. Because it's so important to have people around you who can do that, who can see you, who can hear you, and then who can wrap their arms around you so that you can unravel and then come out. And then fight your way first, because you need that to strengthen those beautiful, beautiful wings, and then come out as a more expanded version of yourself, because people have held space for you, because people have created a container and opened it and allowed you to come in and then closed you in until you were ready, because that's really important. When we don't have people who hold space for us, the results are absolutely catastrophic, because we go through our journeys of transitioning at work, transitioning in our lives, unlearning different things about who we were raised to be, who our parents said we should be, but we struggle because there's no one there who's going, go ahead, grow, grow. And then we feel that gap. And so it becomes even harder. You feel like you're fighting an uphill battle because there isn't anyone there who's going to create that environment for you and hold space for you the way that you need them to, or the way that you need someone to do for you. So that's why this is so important. I pray for you today that you have someone that you know of who's holding space for you. People around you are holding space for you, so that whenever you're going through something, you can go to that person and you can just feel like your tank is being refilled. Not that that person is opening up your cocoon, remember, but just that that person is acting as an environment where you can fight your demons and conquer and come out better on the other side. And I pray that for you today, and I hope that that's what you receive, that's what you have around you, and that you can build that. If you feel you don't have that, start today. When you switch off this video, start today and build that around yourself. That's the big challenge for today's video, is creating an environment where you have people who can hold space for you. Join a club, join a community, join a Facebook group, do something. So that you have people to hold space for you, because you deserve that. You deserve a space where you can be vulnerable and you can completely allow yourself to transform and to transition. Because this journey is tough. It can be really tough. You need to have that type of support around you, and you deserve it. You're so worthy of that kind of support as you go through your journey. So I hope this video was absolutely beneficial to you. You were able to get a bit of a light bulb moment, and then maybe also a bit of reflection, because I feel as we go on with this journey, awareness is such a big part of what I do. You know, if you've ever worked with me, you know that I work on the career transition formula, which is made up of 3 different parts. And the first one is C, and C is awareness, all about raising our levels of awareness, asking the questions. And then the second one is do, and it's strategy and planning. Then the last one is belonging, or support. And this one is accountability, holding space. So we've almost touched on 2 different parts of the career transition formula, all in one short, beautiful video. I don't want to say goodbye, but I have to. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and do so. It's been amazing sharing space with you and holding space for you to grow. Hopefully this channel has been an environment for you to do that. Hopefully being around me has seen you feel like I'm someone who can hold space for your growth, whether or not I know you or I've met you, because that's irrelevant. It's all about just making sure that I create an environment where you can unravel and you can fight out of your cocoon and then come out the best version of yourself that you need now, until it's time to go back into the cocoon and then come back out again. Because it's an ongoing journey, right? That's why life cycles are like cyclical. They go round and round and round, because it's just always that beautiful journey of doing that over and over and over and over and over and over again. You get it. Thanks so much, guys, for watching this video. I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this conversation. But also, if you're ready, do you have people around you who are holding space for you? And if you can, do tag them. Tag someone who has held space for you super, super beautifully, and thank them in the comments, because they deserve to know that they have done that for you, because it will help them to further hold space for other amazing souls like yourself. Sending you lots and lots of love and your personalized version of absolute success. Bye for now.